Hello everyone, my name is Nargis. I live in China and share with you some important information and news from China. So one of the most breaking news recently was that China is reopening its borders. So foreigners from 80 countries may enter China now and may apply for Chinese visa. However, they need to fulfill one important condition: be inoculated with Chinese vaccine. So I would like to just explain to you more who can enter China now, what type of visa will be issued by Chinese embassies and consulates abroad, and answer some of the most frequently asked questions. So first of all, there are a list of 80 countries from where foreigners may come to China. This includes countries in Europe like Spain, Germany, Sweden, Switzerland, Middle East, Israel, Qatar, a lot of countries in Asia like India, Pakistan, and Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, and many other countries. You can see the list here on the screen. If you need to pause, please do so. What types of visa will be issued as of right now? So Chinese embassies and consulates on their website updated the information about Chinese visa. There are only three types of visas that might be issued by Chinese authorities. This includes number one, foreign nationals and their family members who are going to China to resume their work. It means that if you work in China and you have a company there, you can go back to China to resume your work. And your family members, like spouses, your children, can also are eligible to apply to China now. So for the first type of visa, which is employment visa, applicants are no longer required to submit the PU invitation letter or TE invitation letter. This letter was required during the pandemic. This is important invitation letter that is issued by Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the provincial level, and it was really difficult to get that letter, if not impossible. So right now, if you do the vaccine, they no longer require this letter, and the documents required for all types of Chinese visa are same as before the pandemic. The second group includes spouses and family members of Chinese citizens or Chinese PR holders. So it means this list includes the relatives of Chinese citizens, including spouses, children, grandparents, grandchildren of Chinese citizens. So if you need to go to China with the purpose of a family reunion or taking care of elderly, you may apply for Chinese visa now. The third category includes businessmen. This is only limited for APEC card holders. So APEC is the special business card that gives you the right to travel in different countries around Asia, including China and Hong Kong. So with this card, you can apply for an M-type visa, which is a business visa. It means that all these three categories may now enter China, but this only includes those foreigners who will receive Chinese vaccine. Question number one: can the foreigners take another vaccine not produced by Chinese manufacturers? And the answer is no. Chinese government only accept vaccines manufactured by Chinese company. Second question: if the person is inoculated with Chinese vaccine, and when he comes to China, can he skip the mandatory quarantine? And the answer is no. No matter you do the vaccine or not, you still will have to quarantine for 14 days at least. And right now we see that it's normally more than 14 days, up to 28 days, depending on which cities you are traveling to. You still have to go through the quarantine. So another question is about whether the passengers still need to take the test certificates before they fly to China. The answer is yes, you still have to take two test certificates. One is the PCR test, another one LGM antibody tests. So right now, when you take the vaccine, Chinese vaccine, your antibody test must be positive, because you will have the antibodies against the virus. So you cannot, for example, fake the vaccine certificate, because then your antibodies test will be negative. So in order to ensure the consistency, you will have to take the vaccine, you'll have to do the two tests, and with these documents you can go and apply for a Chinese visa. Like, also, it seems like it's a positive sign of Chinese border opening and resuming the pre-COVID life. Anyway, there are many questions are still not clear. For example, so many foreigners are allowed to enter China right now, but the amount still won't be so big, because first of all, not all countries purchase Chinese vaccine. We now know that there are so many vaccines, Pfizer and Moderna vaccine, from US, from Russia, Chinese local vaccines, and some other local vaccines. If China only allows Chinese vaccine, then the question is where to get the vaccine. Even the people who wants to come to China and who wants to be inoculated, there is no way to find specifically Chinese vaccine if their government didn't purchase Chinese vaccine, and some countries are not even going to do so. So it's really a big question, because if one country requests for Chinese vaccine, another country will request for Pfizer vaccine, and other countries will have its own requirements, then it would be basically impossible to travel around again. How many vaccines should one take in order to travel again? I think governments of all countries should really come to some mutual agreements and start recognizing not only their own vaccines but also other vaccines, because they are more or less have similar effectiveness. Like, they are none of them 100% effective. But I think that's why we have WHO to make all these vaccines recognizable, and do not exclude each other, to facilitate traveling. So if you agree with me, please also comment down below. I'm very interested to hear your opinion. Regarding student and tourist visas, unfortunately, there are still no news about that. The Chinese government do not comment anything on regarding students, and especially tourists. I think these new regulations, they will be firstly tested, and the government will see how it goes, whether there is any new outbreaks of coronavirus in China. And I think soon they will let students to go back to China too, because from my point of view, Chinese government is quite certain about the effectiveness of their vaccine. So anyway, it's kind of positive trend, but there are still many issues. And by the way, I already interviewed my friend who has recently been inoculated with Chinese vaccine, and he shared his experience of how he took the vaccine, what are the potential side effects, and how he feel in general. So check the link down below to know more about the Chinese vaccines and its side effects. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. Any questions, please comment them down below.